Larry Bird was one of the greatest NBA players of all time. For those that disagree, you don't really know basketball. He was Michael Jordan's greatest adversary, a legendary player that played against other legendary players. He could do it all and was a master of running his mouth. So we are going to find a little Larry Bird weird on today's episode of 5 Weird Things. Welcome to the channel. I first noticed Larry Bird because he looked Irish and he played for the Celtics. That stood out since no one else on the Celtics looked Irish. What stood out about Bird to you? Let me know down in the comments. All right, let's get into it. First, the things we all need to know. Larry Bird is an American former professional basketball player, coach, and executive in the National Basketball Association. Nicknamed the Hick from French Lick, the Great White Shark, and Larry Legend, Bird is widely regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He was selected to 12 NBA All-Star teams, won 3 NBA championships, won 2 NBA Finals MVP awards. He also won 3 consecutive regular season MVP awards. Weird thing number 5. Larry almost went to baseball. And before he was draining three-pointers, Bird was tossing fastballs as a Little League pitcher. He had seriously considered pursuing baseball before settling in on basketball. Bird was so competitive that striking out in baseball probably felt like losing Game 7 of the NBA Finals. His competitive nature was legendary. Bird's towering height might have made him the perfect home run hitter, but he likely realized that a baseball just didn't feel as good in his hands as a basketball. Plus, dunking a baseball isn't nearly as satisfying. Had Bird pursued baseball, opposing teams would have seen him as a bench warmer's worst nightmare. Because if he sat out, he'd be on the bench talking nonstop trash about their swing, their stance, probably their haircut. Weird thing number 4. Larry was drafted twice. So when Bird was drafted in 1978, he wasn't actually planning to join the NBA until after his final college season. So the Celtics had to patiently wait for him, hoping he wouldn't get lost in the grocery store or just forget to show up. The draft pick was more of a strategic move by the Celtics to secure his rights before he completed his collegiate career. In the 1979 NBA draft, the Celtics selected Larry Bird again as the 6th overall pick. This was the official draft where Bird's entry into the league was finalized, and he was ready to start his professional career. The Celtics' decision to draft Bird twice was a strategic one. By drafting him in 78, they ensured that they had exclusive rights to him once he was ready to join the NBA, demonstrating their commitment to securing one of the top prospects in basketball. And the wait paid off big time for the Celtics. Larry Bird went on to have a Hall of Fame career with Boston and becoming one of the most iconic players in basketball history. The decision to draft him twice is often seen as one of the most successful strategic moves in NBA history. Weird thing number 3. Larry was a Hall of Fame trash talker. Now, Larry had a knack for making his opponents feel like they were in a live-action game of guess what's coming next. He'd tell defenders exactly how he was going to score, like saying, I'm going to make a shot from the corner, and then, surprise, surprise, he'd actually shoot from the corner and score. It was like he had a crystal ball for a basketball. In the 1986 three-point contest, Bird strolled into the locker room and casually dropped this bombshell. I'm winning this thing, just so you know. He then went on to do just that, leaving his competitors as speechless as a deer in the headlights. Talk about confidence, or maybe just a really good self-fulfilling prophecy. During the 1984 NBA Finals, Bird decided to play mind games with the Lakers by announcing, I'm going to get the ball and score on you. He even pointed out where he would shoot from, just to make sure everyone knew what was coming. And then, of course, he did exactly what he said he was going to do. It was like watching a magician perform a trick and still be amazed. Bird's no-look pass was legendary, not just for the trick itself, but his sheer audacity. After making a no-look pass that led to a basket, he told everyone he was going to do it again, as if to say, I dare you to stop me. And when he did it again with the same pinpoint accuracy, it was like watching a master chef make the same amazing dish and still be impressed every time. In a famous game against the Portland Trail Blazers, Bird, known for his clutch shooting, told his defender, I'm going to take the last shot of the game, and there's nothing you can do about it. He then proceeded to hit the game-winning shot, proving his trash talk was as effective as his shooting. Trash talk sucks when they really are that good. Weird thing number 2. Larry hated the limelight. Larry Bird was so private that he could have given Houdini a run for his money. He preferred to stay out of the media's gaze, which means he was the kind of guy who could walk through a crowd, not get recognized, even if he was wearing a "Hi, I'm Larry Bird" t-shirt. Unlike many athletes who loved the celebrity spotlight, Bird was more interested in avoiding it. If there was an award for staying out of the limelight, he'd win it every year, and probably declined the trophy in person to avoid more attention. After retiring, Bird didn't exactly trade in his old jersey for a flashy lifestyle. Instead, he chose a quiet life, proving that you don't need to live in Hollywood or New York to be a legend. He stayed in Indiana, where he was less likely to be mistaken for a tourist. Bird was not a fan of the media frenzy that followed high-profile athletes. He had a knack for avoiding controversial headlines, preferring to keep his personal life as private as a secret recipe for grandma's apple pie. It's as if he had a "Do Not Disturb" sign on his life, enjoying a quieter existence away from the paparazzi's flashbulbs, but in his preferred space. And finally, weird thing number 1. Larry, after retiring. After retiring, Bird decided that sitting on the sidelines was not for him, way too competitive. He wanted to be the one barking orders from the bench. As a head coach of the Indiana Pacers, he led them to the NBA Finals in 2000. He must have thought, if I can't win as a player, I'll just do it as a coach, or at least get really close. Bird snagged the NBA Coach of the Year award in his debut season. The man was so good that his team probably thought, great, now we have to live up to Larry Bird's legendary status, even when he's not out there shooting threes. After his coaching days, Bird moved to the executive suite of the Indiana Pacers. As president of basketball operations, he was like the team's mastermind, pulling the strings and making trades that left everyone wondering if he had a crystal ball or some really good insider knowledge. Now, Bird's executive prowess included drafting and trading like a pro. He managed to snag Paul George, who quickly became a Pacers superstar. It's like he had a secret recipe for assembling a winning team. Or maybe just a really good hunch for talent. In 2013, Bird could not stay away from the court and returned to coaching, proving that he just wasn't done telling players how to win games. His second coaching stint was like a sequel to a blockbuster movie, with Bird returning to the bench and leading the Pacers to more playoff excitement. Well, that's it for today's peek into the Great White Shark's history. I hope you loved it enough to tell 10 people about this channel, make them like and subscribe to videos. Click on more of my videos to get your daily quota of weird. And for those still watching, today's code word is Larry Legend. Put it down in the comments just to piss off the basketball fanatics out there. Take care. Have a great day.